Music? We got it. Hi. It's true though. It's true. Nerd King. All right. So tonight, we've got a heck of a challenge ahead of us. Thank you for the lizards. Al, thank you for the raid. Whenever you get back. Everybody, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. I have been bug fixing. A lot of it's not really bugs. It's more like that's like a little bit. Let's shift that a little bit over. Okay, that's better. It's tweaks. A lot of it's just tweaks, but some of it is missing content that I never got around to adding, like some of the tattle log stuff. I need to put that on the to-do list. We need a full-on tattle log. We need to organize this a little bit. I need like big features that we can work on at some point, and one of them is a tattle log. I haven't been able to. I don't know if what you would a bestiary, I guess. Paper Mario had a move for determining what an enemy's stats. It was called tattle, and you could look them all up in the tattle log, where it would give you the information about the critter, as well as a little picture of them. And it was sort of like you could kind of fill in the book as you went along. Like you could see how many there were and how many you had filled in. And so it was kind of a little completion thing to be like, have you scanned every enemy type in the game? Bug Fables did the most out there thing with this. Actually did a few things. Bug Fables has no partners, really. You don't get like a new partner that has a little field move. You always have the same 3 characters, and they are all the protagonist. They are all equally protagonist, with their own unique backstories that you explore throughout the game, completely optionally. Each of them has like a backstory quest that you don't have to do, but you are rewarded mechanically with like new moves and stuff. And as a result, there's not one partner that does the scanning. All 3 of them have access to that, and they each individually have different dialogue about every enemy, which is impressive. But that's not the really crazy thing that they did with it. They added a trading card game in Bug Fables. I think that might have been one of their Kickstarter goals or crowdfund, whatever service they used. But the idea was you could craft your deck from the monsters that you had used the scan move on. They called it Spy instead of Tattle. And so you kind of had this alternate reward to scanning enemies, which was that you could then use them in your trading card deck, which was actually a very fun and interesting little card game that they built in Bug Fables. It was very interesting. Anyway, we're probably not doing a card game this time, but I do want to at least have somewhere where you can track the enemies that you found. Al's got his spaghetti. So that's something for another time. It's like a little tattle log to, and maybe a world map, but that's a long way away. That's when we're basically done with the game and we know all the areas, because then we can draw a pretty map and like highlight locations. That's gonna be a fun system to say like, oh, you are here. It's like, okay, this little dot corresponds to this map, and this little dot corresponds to this map. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be cool. But we can't do that until we're basically done with Chapter 8. So that's a long ways away. So tonight's big mission is the flank battle. The idea is that this is going to be a battle where you have enemies on both sides. Our current mechanical idea is that it's going to be about the partner, like you and your partner's position. You're going to be back to back, and you attack the one in front of you. Now, what happens if your partner is dead? Then we have problem. What do you do if your partner dies in such a situation? Because let's say you're out of partners. So you just have a knocked out, an unconscious cat on the battlefield behind you. Normally that means you cannot be in front. So how does that work in that case? Palace of Darkness, excellent dungeon. I guess we don't have to solve all the problems tonight. We're just going to try and get the basic gist of it. Hey, Bach, welcome in. So that's the plan, is we're going to try a battle where you're back to back and you can only attack the enemies that are on your side. Ah, too bad. Too late. You can only attack enemies on your side, and you can still swap sides. And what else? Does that do anything else for us? Like the big idea we had was that Al had was things are going to happen to one side, like the left side of the field or the right side of the field. And maybe you have some ability to toggle which side the thing is going to happen to. Attacks do more if you hit from behind. Get hit from behind. I guess that is one idea, is that you choose your facing. That seems needlessly complex. Ooh. Okay, Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire had that mechanic. There was a fight wherein instead of you on the left and enemies on the right, there's a special fight where, let's see here. This is the shield and spear. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. This is the one. Open image. Open image. How do I open image? Show me the image. There we go. This was the idea here. In this one fight in the entire game, you've got two enemies, and your direction is based on whatever enemy you direct an attack at most recently. So as soon as you choose to attack the guy on the right, your character faces right. If you use a card that attacks everyone, you don't change direction. And you do receive 50% extra damage if you get hit from behind. It's an interesting system. Now, if we did something like that, what does that do? Like, if you get to choose to hit an enemy on the left versus the right... It's okay. Now that could get weird, because then you could wind up with a situation where you and your partner are like face to face, because Dabble in the front is facing left and Cat in the back is facing right. I like the idea of back-to-back fight, but you do run into a situation of what if all the enemies are on one side? I guess then it switches to a normal battle, right? Like once you clear out all the enemies on one side, we basically treat it as a normal fight. And only attack that one side. Yeah, at that point we can just like shuffle everyone around once you clear out a side completely. Okay. Treat it as a normal battle. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. We're gonna start by having a flag on the battle manager to indicate that it is a is that where we want to put it, or do we put it in the encounter details? Well, that's going to be weird. Okay, let me figure out where this goes. Enemy keys are in the encounter details. It's mega. Okay, so that's kind of just the weird thing about that. So it would be nice if we could make enemy keys. Let's see what we can do with this encounter details object and see if we can expand on that. Enemy keys. I feel like there's something we can do with that. Start battle with encounter details. Being something like this. So the list of enemies in enemy keys right now is just a list of strings. It would be very nice if we could make it better. This is just including every gameplay element from Clair Obscura in increasingly egregious ways. Perfect. That's a good... Dude, that was really funny the way that you did that for the past 10 minutes, and I really enjoyed it. All right, so we're gonna say that enemy keys. I want to replace enemy keys completely with just enemy list. I kind of do, I think. Well, not here. Oh yeah, you know what? Here as well. We're gonna replace these soon. Enemy list. in enemy list, we're going to have a new object called enemy detail. Dot key. Key is the key. Let's go ahead and fix all these then. So we're going to replace all these with an object that has a property called key. Like this. So it's a little bit more involved. But there's good reason for it. And that is that it's going to let us add more additional details. Key. Oh, you know what? This would have been a good opportunity to just make a little JavaScript snippet that does this for me. But here we are, doing it the old-fashioned way of find and replace. Key. Yay! Oh man, do you guys remember where that sound effect started? Yes, I do. Unfortunately, it still stings just the same. Big ol'. Oh, there's a lot of pigs in this game. So this part of the code right here is what translates, hey, here's an enemy on the field. Now, who am I fighting when I touch that? Because that is randomly decided when that actor spawns. Okay, there we go. So now this is all using keys. Uses dot key. Good. I should do, maybe I should do get key. I know, I remember it. I remember that soundboard. Tunes, games. Strong bad is strong bad. That was ancient. That was years ago. 2002? 2002? Really? I remember the idea of them. I don't think I ever watched one. But I would see them occasionally. Like, no. Pass. Okay. Oh, then this. Snail. Heavy Snail. Oh, you guys haven't seen Heavy Snail yet, but Heavy Snail is pretty cool guy. most of them were mean. That's the general vibe I understood them as. Okay. Ooh. Oh, now the trial manager. Okay, but this is better because I can include Ismega as a property of the enemy, not a property of the individual fight. Oh, you know what? I should have made a helper function. Did all that. Oh. I can still do it. Two enemy set. Let's see here. Var ret equals list, return ret. Amazing, you did it. Function works. For enemy key in key array. Ret push an object key enemy key. Done. Utility dot to enemy set. Just like that. Except not that one, because that one's special. So this is going to be E Higgle and Ismega true. Like that, instead of putting it on the battle itself. I think that's better. Floor directory. Oh yeah, that's this. Okay, yeah. Okay. I remember. Which possible floor things could you encounter, etc., etc. Utility to enemy set is the magic. Oh, no. Can I just undo all of this real quick? I thought of a better way to do it. I thought of a much... What? What happened to you? Your computer's messing up? Uh-oh. Hold that thought. What did it do? Yeah. Integrated graphics card, maybe? Oh, gotcha. That would have been really bad. What a weird power outage where the lights are still on. Hey, lag. It's true. That's why they call it write once only memory. Or something like that. Alright, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Wait, maybe this one might be okay. No, this one is not okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. What's wrong with that one? Because I named it. Yeah, okay. Some of these do need to change, but not. We're gonna call it enemy list. We are gonna call it enemy list. Okay. Reload. So instead of enemy keys, we are gonna call it enemy list, but we're just gonna change it on the other end. This is still fine, but this needs to change. Enemy list is that. Okay, so this is different though. Oh, when do we populate items? Here. Great. That's a little inconsistent, but it's fine. Okay, Battle Manager. So in the Battle Manager, we're now going to have enemy list. And we're going to check the type. How do we do that? How do we do that? I see where we're looking for type of array. So it's probably something like that. Presumably, we can do this. The key equals mystery. Enemy detail. All right. If enemy detail is a string, then enemy key is just the enemy detail. Otherwise, enemy key is enemy detail dot get key. Okay. So what this is going to let us do, first of all, is set up more complicated enemy details. Instead of storing them on the battle level, they are stored at the enemy level. This is trickier. Encounter is get the selected encounter, which presumably has enemies, right? Yeah, it's the encounter details. If encounter dot enemy list dot any, if any of them returns mega. If there are mega ones, then then new actor. What? Maybe new actor. Who's the new actor? Oh, this is set up a single enemy? No? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, yeah, that's the field actor. That makes sense. That's fine. That's fine. That is super fine. Okay, and then now, instead of being on this level, we do it on this level. Enemy types. We think that's enemy key, but it might not be. If enemy key, no, that's enemy details. I'm breaking a lot of stuff, I'm pretty sure. Get key or just return enemy details if there is. That's much simpler. Enemy key. Then enemy type. Wait, what a mess, huh? What an absolute mess. Then enemy type. Okay, enemy key. There we go. Is mega is enemy details dot get is mega. Which usually this is a string, and so get should return null, which will default to false here. Okay. I think. And then is mega just goes as normal. Yeah, because previously I had to assume that mega meant no other enemies in combat. Okay. Cool. That's probably good. I should really just run into an enemy real quick and check. Is something going to break terribly? How badly is something going to break here? Touch a pig. Break the world. Oh, we got pigs. Okay. We're okay then. Maybe things are not as bad as we thought. Cool. Okay, so that's one thing. That's net zero change so far. Net zero change. Should I make this a branch? It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so that's the basics, is that enemy encounter details can now be more complicated. And so now, with that, now that we have that capability, we can take this. We can have 2 snails. All right, load into a battle with 2 snails, please. Let's make sure that works. It did not work. Enemy list. Right, I've still got it listed as enemy keys here. Okay, well that's fine, because that's like the least troublesome place to fix. All right, so the idea is that because now we have more granularity, great, we got 2 snails, now we can add weirder and more complex details to these units, such as side. Side? This is going to be tricky because side up until now always referenced player side versus enemy side. It was, which team are you on? So instead, enemy units need to have the special property of flank. Yeah, are you on the left flank -1 or 1, I guess, is the idea. It's a little bit weird. Or is it 0 and 1? Maybe 0 and... Well... you see the issue here. Enum left, right. Yeah. All right, we shouldn't get into the nitty gritty at this point. We need to clean it up later. We can. Flank is typically 1. But we're gonna have the special magical ability for this one fight to have 1 on the left. All right. So, enemy list. When we are populating enemies from the encounter details, we have the enemy detail. Right, we have enemy details here. Why do we do it this way? Why do we do it this way? Why are we cycling through this and then... No, that's not why. Why are we cycling through this effectively twice? It does look like we're just doing 2 loops on effectively the same list. I'm gonna change that. Like, do we need the index for some reason? What is this? What is this? Item. Oh, we populate. No, we don't. If enemy index is less than enemy items dot size. What is enemy items coming in at? Thank you, Mac. All right, so let's do this. We'll grab enemy key. Done. Much simpler. Then enemy type. What do we need enemy types for? Is that used anywhere here? No, it's used just here. Okay, so now we've got the details, we've got the enemy key, we've got whether or not it's mega. Guess we've got this. Enemy types doesn't seem to be necessary at all. Do we need is mega? No, we're good there. Is that it? Did we just simplify that? I guess we need to include an index here as well. But yeah, that's much cleaner. And it looks like that's basically the same thing. I don't know why that was 2 separate loops originally. Okay, so when we're adding a unit, include the item key. Keep in mind this function is also used for for the players when they're getting added, because this is like actually creating the actor and doing that kind of setup. All right, flank by default is going to be 1, but we can do this override here. Oh gosh. Bees. Hello, GQ. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the bees. Mac, thank you for the lizards. Okay, so we've got this new flank here. Double lizard? Triple? Do I hear triple? Unit dot flank equals flank. Okay, so now we have the property. Now we need to handle placing the unit. Which happens somewhere. Here's our basing. Where do we... here we go. Set unit position. We've got our front position and our back position. Oh, right, because we arrange them. We arrange them given a front and back. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So we've got left and right. It seems like we're also going to need an alternate. The lizards have destroyed the mole economy. I don't know why. This is super weird. This is super weird. And if anybody uses Godot and has encountered this and knows what the problem is. So I tried upgrading to 4.5 or 4.4. It was a disaster. So I rolled back the code with Git. So it's like I've completely done away with anything under source control for this project that related to the 4.4 update so that I could roll it back to 4.3. And great, everything works, but, and this has happened both times I've tried a 4.4 update, in every scene, in every single scene, it suddenly is, well, not this one apparently, it suddenly is wireframe mode. And I know you can't really tell in this particular set of the scene. So I have to change it out of wireframe mode. And I don't know why. That's super bizarre. Not that there's anything to see in this scene, but still. All right, hotspots. We have left 1 and 2. So that's where the players normally go. -2, -3, and then we have right 1 and 2, which is very small. Why is it so small? Oh, is it arranges them, doesn't it? It's an iterator. Distant, yeah, okay. So that's the distance between 1 and 2, okay. So that each time you open a scene, it's set to appear. I don't know, it's weird. It's very strange. Because if there is some kind of setting, it's not tied to the project. It's somehow outside of the project. Which is possible. Okay, so you are starting at 2. Oh, this is gonna be, I'm gonna have to like have the camera pulled out farther for this or something, rather than have everyone sit closer together. Which, you know, that's an option too. So we're gonna change this to rear. Does this use global position at all? No, it does not. It should. I think. Okay, so rear. 1 and 2, we're gonna go -X. Possibly, like it's definitely not out of the question. So rear, and then that's player, that's partner, and then they are normally 1-2 away from origin, and then 1-2 away from that. Okay, that would be where that goes. So enemy side units filter to where flank equals 1. Very silly. And where flank equals, we're going with 0? Is that right? For now. Go from rear 1 to rear 2. So let's actually add more enemies. Let's double it. Snail pig, snail pig. Okay, so we should hopefully just see the snails on the right. And we probably won't see the pigs, but they're over there. Wait for it. Wait for it. And we failed. How did we fail here? We passed in a string to this function accidentally. Yeah, we passed in a string when we meant to pass in the enemy type. Try again. Okay, there's our snails. There's a pig behind us. Good. Good. Do I have a baseball? I don't have a baseball right now. Bubble them. That'll work. That's enough. That's enough to be a problem for them. Okay, so we should see a pig from off screen come over here. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, he's gonna bounce that way because he assumes. Okay, so now I should probably be able to attack the pig, even though he's over here. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Now, why that pig? Why that pig? Rear 1, rear 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So why? That's weird. That is weird. Also, how does this camera work? I actually don't know. Unshaken position, get the ready position. Okay, that makes sense. So we want to have a different default position. Okay. Simple enough. Do that, and then we can override that if it's a different thing. If it's Okay. I don't really care about it that much. We've got momentum now. We're on a roll. Okay. So let's say, hypothetically, let's say that we're viewing an infinite void. Add a mesh. Make it a box. Duplicate that, put it in here. Oh, wait, no. Copy, paste it, copy it, paste it. Look in the camera. What do you see? Boom. Battle happening right there. Incredible. But now things are different. Now we want to see more things. We want these guys to be centered. So what does that do to our camera position? Where do we need to transform it to? X needs to be negative 2.5. That's easy enough. Z. Oh, something's wrong here. Something's wrong here. Look at that. Why is it off balance? Why is it so far away? It was supposed to be balanced. Oh. I see. Because of the offset. Weird. So it should be there, right there. All right, now then, camera, offset, negative 2.5, z-index. Oh, that's gonna be weird because we want the z-index to be pulled back, or no, pushed up by 2.5. And the y-index by 2.5? No, not quite. By about 1. Okay. All right. Well then, after we initialize the units, let's get our camera. Get our battle camera handler. If enemy side units dot any are on the left side, then camera handler dot set default position is going to be battle camera handler dot default position plus vector 3 negative 2.5 1 2.5. All right, camera go. Show me a better camera. Oh, it's gonna have the stuff shown. You know what? That's not bad for a start. Some weird stuff. First of all, that the it's very silly to me that everything's got to be so zoomed out to fit everyone at this distance. How many units are we actually going to need for this? Also, this is just very silly as a general rule. Ah. Where is this gonna go? The menu is obviously very different looking like this. And it could still be like this. Honestly, yeah, we could still make this work. Let me pull up the battle menu thing. What even is that called? What is this? Battle manager. What are you? What are you? What are you? It's the combat menu. But it's not. Is it combat menu? Combat menu has no 3D assets, so it's not that. What uses this big gear? What are these lizards doing here? Okay. Let's find the big gear. Can't believe you let the lizards out. Show me big gear. Here? No, it's not that one. It's not that one. Huh. That's very... Okay, so it's a scene. It doesn't have a specific... Huh. It's this one. Okay, so it uses gear GLB. Surely this is a menu thing. Oh wait, it's battle main, combat main menu. That's the one. That's it. There's the guy. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Okay. They wanted to take a walk. I bet. Okay, so we'll do this. And then this, I think we can get away with just moving it up, right? How is that not? Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's okay. That's silly. That's really silly. Hang on, let me reload that, because that might actually be what's happening here. Oh yeah, that is. Oops. I need to move this object. Okay, there we go. That fixes that. Okay, how does this one look? At least on this mode. Fine, but we can definitely drop it down a bit. Let's take a screenshot here. Let's open up our art program. Let's grab a screenshot. We're gonna do a before and after here. New image. Okay, got it. Now let's take out the pigs and do a comparison. And then we're gonna do kind of we're gonna shift things around in the mock-up. Okay, so this is what this looks like with the gear up here. Gosh, it does look a lot emptier, doesn't it? How strange. How very strange. Okay. All right, so here's normal, and here's our variety. So one thing to note is we can, well, huh. Huh. That does create a bit of a problem. There's not enough room. I think we need to get these guys closer. No, I'm just trying to get everything to fit. Right now, the camera is just way too far out for my liking. I want everyone to be closer. A second camera? I mean, yeah, yes? But it doesn't fix the problem that if I put the second camera here, it would still be too far out. The problem is not then everything could be seen better. No, everything's too zoomed out. I want things to be closer. I want to have like I want to have like nice tight camera here. But right now everything is too far out. See, then you can't see him. Here, this backline guy has plenty of room behind him. But if we zoom in the amount that I think would be appropriate, then now you're not really gonna be able to see everybody. Everybody's gonna be kind of up in each other's grills. Like, it's still doable. Yeah, that's the question, really. Does that make it not great? I guess this is okay-ish. You still don't have as much room behind these enemies as we do with the regular one, but it's all right. Okay, the 2.5 that I did is too much. Change that camera shift to 2.0. That's not going to improve much. I guess this is all right, but we do want to move the menu higher up. Okay, and speaking of that, we're going to be able to see the menu a lot more. So we need to Get it looking a little bit better. Main gear, gear 2 gets a little thingy. And then I guess we can even go so far as to make a gear 3. But gear 3 needs to be turned around. And also in a container. So that I can just manage the rotation. Oops. So I can kind of aim this right around here and then rotate the container here. And then hopefully we can just copy this animation here. No, not the slide in. Wait, what handles the... What handles this rotation here? Is it this? It does handle this, okay. Let's try this. We haven't even gotten to, like, mechanically what this does differently, but that's fine. Okay, bring back the left side enemies. Mostly this will just be like this little moment of like, oh, interesting, this is different. How does this work? And then it's going to be pretty much done. Okay, yeah, that looks great. That looked great. We got the gears going. They're doing their thing. Just what I wanted. I want it to be higher up, I think. Alternatively, we could pull the camera down. Well, let's see. Hang on. Let's do another screenshot comparison now. All right, so we can get rid of this one. Before, after. I'd like to have them in about the same part of the screen. Which, I mean, right now they pretty much are. But the menu is not. The menu needs to be shifted up. So what manages the combat main menu? It slides in, doesn't it? It does. Yep. And that's the whole object. Great. Gear holders. And then the 3 individual gear objects here. Could we change this value? Probably not. Not worth doing it that way. Containers within containers. Okay, adjust this script so that all of this stuff is container slash. Okay, that should be good. And then do some kind of automation here. When it is on ready, we're gonna look at the What do we have here? Like, what do we have here to work with? Do we have a battle manager that we can read? Or anything like that? How can we get the battle manager from where we are now? Presumably something can set it from elsewhere. But yeah, it's gonna be, because I don't think we have access to the units. We have the target actor, which I don't actually know what is the target actor doing here. What is that? There's no target actor. Why did I have this? What is this from? How silly. All right, battle menu is what instantiates this, I'm pretty sure. Combat main menu, yep. Instantiate main menu, and then right here, when we instantiate it, but before we add it to the scene, we can update a battle manager property on it so that we can actually access that. Oh. Is it now? Base menu has battle manager somehow. How? What? Oh, when we're creating the targeting menu, we use it. Huh. Neat. Well, now we're also doing it here. Cool. That's fine. The important thing is we have Battle Manager. So we can look at the enemy side units. Maybe we should just have a... Should the Battle Manager just have a little helpful variable of is flank battle? By default, false. But it gets set up as soon as we initialize units. What else are we using? Flank. Right here, we'll replace this with if is flank battle. Okay, so there we go. Now we can do battle manager dot. If it's a flank battle, then container dot position dot y. How much do we need to take it up? It's like 2 units. We're gonna try it. Okay, so get leave it for now. Oh, something seems to have gone wrong. Invalid. Oh, geez. Invalid access to is flank battle on base object of type nil. What? You're saying it doesn't have the property? Battle manager's not set yet. What? Are you sure? Are you absolutely certain? Combat menu. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's instantiate menu, which probably adds it. It sure does. So we got to do that. All right, that should hopefully fix it. Oh, it failed again. Whoops. Oh, I didn't want to start it again. I wanted to see what the problem was. Give it a second. Invalid assignment. A property or key battle manager type mode battle manager on place object to packed scene. Because. Oh, whoops, that needs to be. Menu instance. What? No. Maybe. Yes. Okay, yes. Probably so. It wasn't failing earlier because it was failing before that happened. Nope, that wasn't it either. What am I misreading here? When we instantiate the menu... Oh, target actor was actually necessary for some reason. Oh. Go figure. All right, I'll put it back. Sorry. I don't know what we're doing with that. Hey, okay. 2 was too much. But that's fine. Change that to 1.5. Ooh, that's not great, because it's going to slide in that way. It's going to appear. Alright, well, regardless of that, how does this fare? It did delete things, it's true. We can bring it down a bit. Or do we make it bigger? Do we just make it bigger? I think we scale it up to match. Match its usual size, or oh no. Let me think about it. No. But scaling it up does sound like a good idea. Fortunately, the offset is weird. I like the center point to be like that. Can we do that? Yes. Move everything out of the container. Then we scoot the container over. Then we move everything back into the container. Wait, hang on. Also, we move the container out again, and we move it up. We'll move everything back into the container yet again. And we're good. And then we can say container dot scale equals 1.3, 4. It's all just the prettiness. I still need to make it actually do all of the code things that we've talked about. Oh. This is not attaching to the points. That's interesting. Why is that? We are unprojecting the position of X and Y. Multiplying by, is that a set radius? Maybe it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so now we have our regular, more or less, our regularly scaled menu. It's still... Oh, no, that's like just a little bit too big, but like barely. Like we'll change the scale to 1.3. Like just comparing it with the non-flanking battle. I want it a little lower, I think. So let's say 1.4. Let me look at our original again. Yeah, look at all that breathing room right there. Definitely needs to be a little bit lower. So let's actually bring it down to 1.1. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Okay. This is fine. The next problem is the way it slides in. It just appears here, which means that we need to modify this animation for the slide in. So normally it does that, which is usually fine, but no more. Now we need to change this to like -10, I guess. Let's see if that fares better. Yeah. It'll be very jarring, I'm sure, to see this menu in the middle of the screen instead of on the side. But I guess that's kind of the point, is to really shake things up at certain parts of the game. Okay. So next up. This may not take much. When I am getting a list of targetable things, Target directory. I'm getting the list of targetable sets. How does that work? Like, it returns a list of enemy sets that can be hit by the move, such as all enemies being one set, or first enemy being a set, or all enemies on the ground being a set. So this is going to be interesting because attacks that were formerly hit literally everything are instead going to be hit just the left half or just the right half. So we want to say get the target sets Does it do any kind of filtering for a size of the set? No, it does not. So target directories need to make sure that we are clearing out empty sets. I think all of these need to do that, right? Clear empty sets. So we're gonna have an array, sets, and we're gonna return a different array. We're gonna return sets, filter it to where size is greater than 0. So in each of these, ret equals clear empty sets ret. Okay, just add that to all of these functions here to make sure that all of them only return sets that include at least one unit. Okay, good. Next, first grounded enemy. Well, previously we said it's just the first grounded enemy. But now I want to split that into the first grounded enemy on the left side and the right side. I need to pass in the source. I'm realizing on these, this get my team business, I've been calling it with my team and enemy team. I need to include in that, who am I? Because if I am facing the right, I should only be targeting the right. So that matters. So we need a source as a battle unit. I have to tell him who I is. I wrote this little function that says, given the player team and the enemy team, give me a list of the enemies that I can hit with this move. But all I have to go off of is that I know who the players are and I know who the enemies are. Give me a list of the enemies. Which is fine most of the time. But now it's going to be different because now it matters whether I'm in the front row or the back row. So in addition to having to know, okay, who are the enemies, I have to make sure I also check, are they enemies that I can reach from my side of the battlefield? So we're going to add that to all of our... And this is something I needed for a while because I didn't have a way to target self. Not a common need, but like for a healing item that affects what was an example? Like the honeycomb. The honeycomb gives the team like 5 energy or so. But there's no reason it should be targeting both units. It should just be targeting yourself. It's starting to get complicated. Now it is. Oh. Source. Okay, so that's fixed. So now anywhere that I reference target directory, I need to modify that. Let's see here. Get targetable sets? Has that always been the function? Surely not. Surely... Is it? It is always get targetable sets. Oh, well that's much better at least. Oh, here is different. Here it's get targetable sets. Okay. That's something. That makes it easier because I made it a little bit nicer to use. Get targetable sets is the function in question then. So all of these need to be modified. This takes in unit. No, it takes in target. It used to take in... What? Oh yeah, get targetable... It did, didn't it? It does take in unit. So... Is this all fine then? Is this all fine? I think it is. I think I only have to change it in one place. Yay! DRY. Okay, that makes this done, I guess. Well, the first part. The first part is done. Nice thing is now we can add self-target very easily. So easily that I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna call it myself because self is reserved and I would definitely trip over my own shoelaces doing that. It really is just source. Return an array consisting of source, and that's literally it. Oh, but I have to do this. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's silly. You have to do this .assign business because of typed return types. Darkest Dungeon trinkets, yay! I hope it's the Worry Stone. Okay. Get rid of directions. Okay. If I'm hitting first grounded enemy, it has to be the grounded enemy that is on the same side that I am at. Out of units. How does this work? Do we have an is player in front or something? I know we do. is partner. No, we've got like an is dabble somewhere. Unit.isDabble. Well, wait, that's not what we want though, is it? We want who's in. I want to know whether I'm in front or not. Okay, I can determine that. Because I can look at my side and see if I am element 0. The caution cloak. Okay. So we're determining which side to look at. And this really only matters... Oh, I gotta remember this. This really only matters if I am on the player side. So first grounded enemy is what Cat uses and what Dabble uses for their main attack. So we want to say, grab all the grounded enemies. Simple enough. Limit it to the correct side. Flank limiter is going to take in a list of units and return a list of units. Normally I would do typed arrays, but there's something weird in Godot with typed arrays. It complains a lot. So what I'm gonna do is oh, and I need source, which is a battle unit. Okay, if source.side equals this is gonna get ugly. Battle manager equals source.battle manager. That's fine. If source.side is battle manager dot enemy side units, then just return the units. We don't care. If I'm if I'm an enemy and I'm looking for first grounded enemy. Oh, see, it's different for players. If the player is saying, give me who I can hit, we can just safely ignore everyone that's on the wrong side. Enemy has a weird special case for grounded, for first enemy, where it's going to depend on which flank they're on. Caught hopping at Glass Palace. Oh, I hate when I get caught hopping at Glass Palace. For now, this is easy enough. If source dot side, so if source equals source side 0, if I'm in front, then return units that are on the right. Otherwise, return units that are on the left. All right, there's our flank limiter. Okay, let's try this. So the hope is that Dabble will only be able to hit the right side enemy, and Cat will only be able to hit the left side enemy. Looks good so far. Just hit him for 0, it's fine. And cat, who can you attack? You can only attack this pig? What? Oh, this is weird having to hold left for this. That's pretty silly. But that did work. That did work. We're surrounded. That's really interesting. Like, it does feel different, like you're more exposed. Functionally, the battle is not that different, but still. There is something to this. I don't know if it'll make the cut. This assembly machine. Someone guess E. The bot is not supposed to be doing that. Oh, but is it 2 or 3? Ah, well, just check the color. This is kind of neat. This is kind of neat. And if I change to cat facing the front, then yeah, she can only hit this one. And Dabble can only hit this one. Okay, so now it's pretty much a normal battle. Never guess numbers. That's what they're always saying to me. We're gonna let you defend, and then who can you attack? You can't attack anyone because it is technically a flank battle still. Flank limiter is in play. You can guess numbers. It's true. It's allowed. I think I do kind of want this. I think the more things we can get in the game that are different and stand out a bit more from Thousand Year Door, the better. It's fresh where possible. And try to differentiate the game. No, it's a tire squealing because that's funnier. Because it's like, what? Why is it making a tire squeal noise? It's not rubber. It's like, because it's funny. A question. Dabble World's levels. It's not this time. So flank limiter should only go into effect if it is a flank battle, and it's only a flank battle if there are enemies on both sides of you. Once there are no enemies on the other side, it's fair game. What lies beneath? That is your level. So we need to check to see. Flanking active. And that is It's gonna be both. We want this and we want enemies on both sides. If it's not actively flanking, then just return units and we're done. Where's the secret cat? That is the question. Currently flank limiter is for player. We need to have a different one for enemies, don't we? If I'm the enemy, then my side is what matters. If source.flank equals 1, well, then just return the first unit. Else, return the second unit if there is one. What if there's not? Did we already do the alive filter at this point? Yes. So we can say if blank is 1 or units.size is 1. Okay, there. Flank limiter. So that's only to handle the grounded enemy, first grounded enemy check. Now this, if we later add a just first enemy check, this flank limiter will work as well. So we added myself, which means I can finally do, it's the item directory, isn't it? Is it the item directory that does the targets? Yeah, targets. The honeycomb should not be a friendly unit, it should be myself. Honey candy can be applied to myself. Jam is myself. Cake, myself. Now these that have actual HP values are different. Those can be either or. What else? What else? Oh, Scarecrow, I guess, applies to self. Okay, I think that's good. That had been bugging me for a while. When you make your next video game, well, I'm gonna stop reading right there because that's not gonna matter for 4 years. Will you be able to just take this code?
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Copy paste it into the game so your next game will be easier. If I wanted to do the same type of game, yes. But pretty much none of this code would work for different types of games. Some of it might make sense, but yeah. A prequel. It does feel really weird sometimes that, like, I guess I kind of get it, that you'll have some very cool game that is built and sells well, that's kind of this very new engine idea, and then it's like, well, they did all the coding for it, why not just make more? And I guess part of the idea is they probably use their good ideas for the first one and don't really have much left to do with that idea. But that does sometimes open the way for like mods and stuff. Yeah, like writing a script for a movie. Some bits can be copied, but it's usually very small pieces. Unless you're building something that's basically the same game. For instance, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. That was basically the same game. Okay. This surprisingly is working. Millions, yes. My honest to goodness goal is to sell. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tier the goals. I genuinely believe that 100 copies is very doable without really pushing that much. 1,000 copies feels like an admirable goal that's still within the realm of possibility, but will require some actual work at marketing. And that's it. That's the end. That's the list. Let's see. This is gonna hit everyone. Everyone. And it shouldn't. Maybe we add some kind of targeting that actually does hit everyone. But for things... Oh, this is gonna be... Yeah, Scarecrow is the weird one. This is gonna work, isn't it? Hilariously, the pigs are going to maybe ignore the Scarecrow. Well, they can hit anyone. They can choose to hit anyone. Oh, I blocked, didn't I? Totally did. Uh-oh. Type object. Unit C. Oh, yeah. You're right. Good call. Thank you, debugger. Okay. So there's a lot left that can be done on this, of course. It's far from complete, but surprisingly, the bulk of it was just getting the targeting directory updated. Give me a tennis ball. Because that's a good normally hit everything attack, but we want to change that so that that's not how it works. Okay. All grounded enemies. We're now going to do a flank limiter. Ooh, okay, so this is a special flank limiter. This is a flank limiter single because it only works if you're supposed to target just the first, or let's say flank limiter first. Because it only works if you're targeting only the first thing. So we need a separate flank limiter for you can target an entire side. And that's gonna be really easy here. Enemies, if they're targeting an entire side, well, they're targeting just the same people they always were. But if I'm targeting an entire side, yeah, okay, there we go. It's almost the same. The only difference is with, yeah, Is there a way I can make this better? Yes, there is. I can make this I can make this unified. All I need to do is say that if I am an enemy and I am on side 1, just return units regular. Just return the regular units array. Otherwise, return a reversed array, but not in place. We need to do we need to do a how do we do this? How do we Godot reverse copy array? I want to duplicate arrays are always passed by reference. To get a copy that can be modified independently, use duplicate. Okay. Duplicate and then reverse. Okay, yeah, just return the array in reverse. Because we're still going to say, well, if you're hitting the first enemy, you know, give me the first item in the list. But if it's reversed, it's the last item in the list, and you're getting the back line. This must be genius. Battle moves. Boink, boink. Change the target to first grounded temporarily. Why are the red coins in the cannon? Oh, Mario Sunshine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that does make sense. Because there's like a little subworld underneath the cannon, I think. Maybe? Which one is that? I don't know. Okay, so now throw a Scarecrow out. Boing. Okay, you can only hit Cat. Yes. Yes. And you can only hit... Yep. You shouldn't be able to block, but other than that, it's great. Cool. That worked. Okay. Flank limiter is go. Winter Beast! Okay. So now we can... all grounded enemies. Boom. Flank limiter. Now it works for a flanking fight. Any enemy. Boom. Now it works for an enemy that's on the right side that you can actually address. You have to be able to see them. You have to be looking that way. Friendly is fine. Enemy team. Enemy team. Wait. That doesn't work. Haha. It works for grounded enemies, doesn't it? No, because this is a list of just enemies. And okay, yeah, this one works. This one is different. So we need to do a little enemies equals that, and then we need to do our flank limiter on the enemies list like that. Okay, now that's good. And then again, take the enemy team, limit it to the appropriate side. A dictionary of all the various variables used or something. I mean, a lot of the variables I use are pretty localized, but there's a handful of stuff for object properties that are recycled in some places, like on the dictionaries I use for damage values. When you take damage, in the good old days, I would just pass a number and say, you take 3 damage, but things got complicated fast. Because it's, well, all right, you took 3 damage, but this particular damage instance ignores defense, but can be blocked, like if you guard against it with the right time, and that will reduce the damage, but it doesn't take into account, like, snail shell defense. It pierces through that, and also it has a flag on it of a certain type that makes it do double damage against this type of enemy. It's like all of those. Yes, I do have a big list for keeping that straight. Because otherwise, how in the world would I keep up with anything? I don't know, actually. I think that's it. First ground enemy, all... Yeah. Which means that now our hit all enemy items should also, yes, only work for the side you're looking at. Yep. And meanwhile, Cat can use the tennis ball only on the pigs. Good. To-do list. Scarecrow is able to block again somehow. Map tool used to write new code every time. Delete the old code, that way they didn't remember anything. Yeah, that way you know you've always got the best code, because it keeps getting better. I can't believe this is actually working. I was not expecting this to actually be functional tonight at all. Admittedly, there's some issues with, like, the facing of enemies and the pigs bounce the wrong way, but ultimately, because we're going to be using specific enemies for these types of battles, we don't have to test every single enemy on a flanking battle. But we would have to test every player originating move and every partner move, because, you know, you can have whatever partner in each of these fights, so we need to be ready for that. But this is an interesting system, because your normal approach is going to be like, well, we're gonna hit him with this first, and then we'll hit the same enemy with this. You can't gang up on enemies anymore. That's weird. That's weird and makes you rethink your strategy. I'm kind of already doing that in one of the, you okay? The first major mini-boss that you hit also does something that prevents you from just you and your partner ganging up and taking him out in 2 or 3 turns. But it's a very different approach to this flanking battle. I hadn't considered that as a side effect of this type of fight, but yeah, it's basically it's basically 2 separate battles that are solo, but also you can switch who's soloing which, as it might benefit you, which could lead to some interesting strategies, I think. This is actually, you know what? I like this. This is neat. I'm satisfied with that. Okay. Obviously, the sets we build for this type of battle will need to account for the wider camera angle. Yeah. Oh, she's up. And she's down. Let's see here. Let's get the facing. Let's get the facing going. That's not going to be too hard. Let's see here. If a unit is on the enemy side, then face left. Well, if they're on the enemy side and unit dot flank equals 1, then they can face left. A mini game, a Mario Kart track. Oh, you know what? I was gonna do one of those dumb, oh, I hope it's such and such jokes, and it might be the one that I had in mind. Okay, so these guys are facing the right way. Partner now needs to face the right way. You know what? We may add this to the thing. To the battle event handler. This is like the top level order of events in one turn. Show health bars, do an on after side start signal that other things can consume, do the player side turns, hide the health bars from the enemies, stop any blocking that's happening on the enemy side, refresh the enemy's move counters, tick any status effects, do the on after side start for the enemy side. I don't even remember what we're using that for. Probably some like special battle scripts. Oh, Mount Wario. Can't buy Dobbs tokens anymore. I took those out because the bot was on the fritz and I don't trust it anymore. Events that were tied to channel point redemptions are require pub sub setup, and I'm not doing the authorization correctly, so it expired and I just haven't bothered to fix the bot. OAuth just requires like these extra steps to hit the API and subscribe to things, and I just haven't bothered. That's it. I hate doing OAuth stuff at work, and I hate doing OAuth stuff at home. I thought it was going to be Peach Beach. Okay, so what if we add a function here that's like correct unit facing? Like refresh facing. And it does, I guess, all units, right? Why not all units? Do both sides. Battle manager player side units and battle manager dot enemy side units. For unit inside. Oh, no, we actually need to do this differently, don't we? Player and enemies are treated differently. For unit in battle manager dot enemy side units. It's just based on their flank and nothing else. That's literally it. Unit dot actor dot is facing right. Yeah. We're facing right if unit flank is 0. And that's literally it. And then for if battle manager dot thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. If player side units dot size is greater than 1, then we're gonna deal with the backline player. But the frontline player is always facing right. So that's easy. Backline player, it depends. It depends on if there are units to the left. Oh, even the front player does actually should depend if there are. It's based on enemy side units .any. There has to be one with a flank value of 1, which is generally the case. For the front. So that's the front guy. Back guy. That is... You can only face right if there are no units on the left. I think that covers it. Just for legibility. Fox mesh, great. Bone map, great. Okay, that's better. Platforming on the Dabble Express. There it is. There it is. Okay, so we're going to do this refresh facing call. After... when are we going to do that? After each player side turn and after each enemy side turn. I mean, we could just squeeze this into an anytime ever, which is when. Here we go. Right here, when we're about to grab the next event, is right here. Let's see if that fixes the facing across the board. Does cat turn around? Does everything break immediately? Does break immediately. That's fine. Is facing right with a value of type Boolean. What do you mean? What do you mean? Battle Manager, player side units, 0. Battle Manager, player side units, object 0, is facing right. That's a battle unit, not an actor. Okay, dot actor. You got me there. You got me there. Okay. Yay! Okay, everybody's facing the right direction. Well, if we're doing it there, then I don't think I need to bother with it here. That simplifies matters quite a bit. Oh, look at that, yeah. Everybody turns around, back to back. Love it. So far, it's been pretty nice. It's different. I'm having difficulty still to this day wrapping my head around you get one script per node. everything has to account for that in a weird way. And it's a lot of, anytime I want to do some kind of composition-based stuff, where, okay, this node has a script for this node has a script for this, and then I can just throw those onto different things. It always has to be, like some parent manager that's calling all the individual pieces, and then it feels like it's got this extra layer that I have to mess with and micromanage, or the child has to, start reaching into its parent and messing around with data there. And neither of them feel great, but it's not bad. Did we just absolutely destroy this? Oh, what happens if we do this? Oh, well, that is different. Okay, so that definitely doesn't work nicely. Everybody back in position. Hey, Gord. That's a good point. Yeah, with Godot. Godot, it tries to run when things are screwed up. Okay. That's fine. Scarecrow. This is gonna be weird, because it's gonna put it over here. Yeah. So we need some way of dealing with that. Okay. I mean, that's fine. This is just... All right. Flank battle. Flank battle, working pretty well. Done. Done. Scarecrow is still weird. That's done. Snail Domino is not done. Something to give feedback. Okay. So the plan is, I'm going to have a playable copy of this game for general testing and enjoyment by the end of the summer. The target minimum amount of work done is I want to have Chapter 1, not the prologue. The prologue will not be done. There's way too much left to do on the prologue. That's not going to be done by that point. Everything from the end of the prologue to the end of Chapter 1 will be complete and playable by the end of the summer. My hope is to have all of that done within 1 month for give feedback to the player. That was a so-so battle. Barely made it. I want to let some internal testing happen within 1 month. That is my target goal. Middle of July, I want to have a version out there that some community members can play through and test and provide feedback. Once I'm satisfied that everything is looking good, then there will be a publicly available version of the game. I don't know at what point I'm going to put it on Steam as a demo, but I do want to do that at one point and say, hey everyone, attention world, this game is being actively built. Here is Chapter 1. You're skipping the tutorial. Deal with it. I hope I can make it by then. I would like to have the prologue as part of the demo, but it feels like it gives too much of the game away because there's a lot going on there. So as as a demo, I think it's reasonable to just do that. The prologue's not going to be short, and it's going to be very exposition heavy, which I think a lot of people would be turned off by if they're just looking to get a feel for how does the game play? You know, how does it feel to play it? It's like, well, I'll tell you after you do all this talking to people. But then again, if you're going out of your way to play an RPG, you should expect some talking to people. All right, Snail Domino probably still doesn't work. Scarecrow, again. Fun twists. These are ideas for down the road. Oh, yeah, we need to check if one side is cleared. How does that work? Does that already work? It might already work. In-game feedback. There's an interesting idea. How would that work? In-game feedback. Like a little form that you fill out and submit. But then where does that go? How does that work? Does that just get... How do you do in-game feedback? Like, surely you have to set up either like an email address. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's good, Lag. That's good. Tennis ball these bozos. 2 damage is enough. That's a get-out-of-jail-free card right there. And look, Dabble turned around to face the left. It's good. And now he can attack over here, right? Oh, no. Why can he attack that one, though? I hadn't even considered that sort of thing. I would have assumed it would have been basically just like a free text entry field, not like an automated, you know, oh, you're sending me performance information. I was assuming it'd be more like, I don't like the part where you have to hit the pig with the tennis ball because the pig noises make me sad. Send. Effectively a comment field. Actually, you know what? Once the actual demo is out, Steam would probably be the place to do that. Man, so it's got to be like, well, then I'll let Steam handle it because you would have had to agree to when you leave a comment, the comment is sent. That's weird that doesn't cover it. Like, I guess I'm not super surprised because I have heard it's very strict about some things. But the idea that like if you go to a website and in the field titled type your feedback here and send it to me, if you type your information there and then you send it, well then oops, now there's problems because you didn't accept the license terms or something. It's the kind of thing that you'd figure, yeah, we understand how sending, like opting in, sending information works, but why is he facing the back pig? Right, I get you. I gotta keep track of it and make it possible for me to delete that information. That kind of stuff. Yeah. GDPR is a consideration there. I just put a little blurb under it that says, if this requires me to do any extra work, do not send it to me. If legally I am on the hook to track this information in a responsible way, then you are hereby forbidden. No, I think having it on Steam would be good because anyone who's using the publicly available demo will have access and has the ability to delete their own stuff, presumably. Or Steam has required them to accept terms that take care of that. I guess the alternative is Discord threads or something. Oh, well, there you go. Why are you... What about you? Also you. Well, the important thing is that everyone can hit everyone now. So let's put that... I guess this is just issues now instead of considerations. Now we've confirmed that they are broken. Oh, I'm always 100% of the time doing heinous things with your data. Wait, does that happen at the beginning of the fight or just after both sides are done? Oh, that's super weird. It only happens after both sides are done. That's really weird. Okay. This is surprisingly much less bugs than I would have expected for this kind of feature of doing a whole different type of battle layout with different targeting rules. And we did it in one night. I'm committing that to master. Straight to master. Bam. It mints the NFTs, but then it immediately deletes them. It's just trying to eat up as much processing power as possible for no discernible purpose. I'm just really interested in prime numbers, and I've just got your computers constantly calculating slightly larger prime numbers as inefficiently as possible. I told you I was having problems with composition, and it turns out it was composite numbers. That was a stretch. Anyway, let's see who's on. That's the wrong shortcut. This one. I've got two Twitch shortcuts, one for the dashboard and one for my following list. Ooh, okay. So small or photon looks like the best choices here. I know, bot. I know. Let's see here. Okay, so Small is working on his mushroom farming game, which is looking pretty nice. Photon's still working on the seaplane game, Lake Hopper. I saw him working on that a little bit earlier today. It's got a nice low poly look. Small's got the pixel art in 3D space look, which is similar to Paper Mario. He even made a Paper Mario-esque demo. It wasn't an RPG. It was more like a platformer, adventure-y kind of game. Very small. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go to Photon. I've made my choice. I can't be talked out of it. All right, cool. We did it. I'm so proud of us. All of us. It was a team effort. I will be back Friday. What are we gonna work on? I don't even know. We're getting close to doing playthroughs, but I don't want to do a lot of that. Yeah, Friday is when I'll be back. I don't want to do a lot of playthroughs on stream because some stuff is secret, and I want people to kind of see it for the first time on their own playthroughs, especially the people who are going to be testing. So we might see about Tattlelog or something, or maybe we'll just continue working on the on this fun little thing we're doing with the flanking battle, because I think that's interesting. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.